Chapter 7. The Death of a Friend. In the middle of one of his lectures, Augustine received a message that one of his friends was dying and was asked to come. Immediately, Augustine left his students and hurried to the house of his dying friend. They had been friends for a long time. In Carthage, they had lived together for a while, and when Augustine had become a Manichaean, he had talked his friend into becoming one as well. But now his friend was dying. Augustine hurried on. He was convinced that he could make his friend feel better. When Augustine arrived at the house, the young man was unable to speak. Shortly before, he had been baptized, and that had apparently tired him out. At last, Augustine was allowed to see the lad. "What have they done with you?" he laughed. "Did you really have yourself baptized? Man, how could you do that?" Augustine was sure that they had the young man baptized without his permission, out of superstition. He soon found out differently. The young man was very well aware of what had happened, as he had professed his faith before being baptized. He looked at Augustine with dark eyes and said, "I am very grateful for what happened, Augustine, and I feel very much at peace now." Again, Augustine laughed. "How is that possible? We were always such faithful followers of Mani, and now you go and do this. I cannot understand it at all." The dying young man tried to raise himself a little. He had always looked up to the clever Augustine, but now, with an unaccustomed boldness, he said, "Listen here, Augustine. If you would like to remain my friend, you must stop this mocking and scorning." Augustine could feel himself becoming angry, but was able to restrain himself. He hoped that his friend would soon feel better. Then he would show him the error of his ways. He was sorry that he could not argue the point with him right now. It would simply have to wait until later. "I'll come back and discuss it with you later," he said carelessly. "Make sure that you soon feel better." The friend did not recover. He died a few days later without Augustine seeing him again. The news about his friend's death came as a terrible blow to him. It disturbed him so much that on occasion he became quite unreasonable, and at night in bed he cried for hours. He had fallen victim to despair, and he could no longer remain in Tagaste. "I'm leaving," he told the mayor. "But Augustine, what is wrong with you?" asked Romanianus. "I thought you enjoyed being here. Come on, tomorrow we will go hunting all day. That will soon make you feel better." Augustine sadly shook his head. "I have to go. I cannot stay here another day. I'm going back to Carthage. There I shall open a school for public speaking and try to make a living that way." "I think you are making a big mistake, but if I cannot persuade you to stay, I will help you get started. Licentius can go with you. Then at least you will have one student, and if you like, you may also take his brother along. That makes 2 of them." "I'll be very grateful," said Augustine, for if the truth were told, he did not have that much confidence in the prospects of a new school. Romanianus was a generous man. He not only gave Augustine money to pay for the trip, but also some to tie him over the first difficult period. The farewell to his mother was short. She had her fears about the big city with its many temptations. Did not that girl Lapita live there? She was not at all sure that Augustine was doing the right thing, so naturally she tried to change his mind. But she soon realized that that was impossible. All she said then was, "Go with God, Augustine. Your mother shall continue to pray for you." Augustine laughed.